Okay guys, so this is your homework help video for week 4. We're solving quadratic equations. We are factoring in order to do so, taking advantage of the zero product property. I do apologize if there's a little bit of noise in the background. They are cleaning the outside of my house, and so it is a little bit noisy. So if you can't hear me, I'm sorry. You can jump into office hours, but I really wanted to get this video done for you guys today so that you guys had it for the week. So if you need to jump into office hours, head over to the hub. You know where to find those office hours. They're up here on the right side, and there's a link to join for each day. All right. Monday has been the lightest day, and I know why that is. I know you guys are doing cohort stuff in the morning, and so you probably don't get started with math until 1 o'clock. So you probably don't even know like what's going on yet. You're probably just getting started, watching the videos, and getting acclimated to the assignment, getting things saved on your computer. So I understand, but if you really want some one-on-one help, Monday is probably the best day. Okay. In general, haven't had a ton of people come into the office hours. Had a decent group on Thursday of last week, but really looking forward to seeing you guys in office hours because that's where I can really help you the most. And there have been a few people who have been really good about coming 2 or 3 times a week. I really appreciate that. Makes me happy. Glad to see you guys, all that kind of good stuff. Okay, so let's get into the assignment a little bit. I want to do a couple of examples for you. So let's, I think I'm hoping that you're okay with like numbers 1 and 2. I want to do number 3 because it sort of introduces this interesting situation with a fraction answer. Okay, so this problem is in factored form for us. It says 4k plus 5 times k plus 1. All of that is equal to 0. All right, so remember, step one for any of these is to check and see, is it equal to 0? It is, so we're good. We don't have to do anything with that. That's fine. If it wasn't equal to 0, we'd have to take that number and get rid of it by either adding or subtracting it to move it to the other side. Okay, since we're equal to 0, we're also already in factored form. We're there, right? They've already found the two things sort of that multiplied to give us that function. So this is factored form. This is good to go. All right. So we just need to take advantage of the zero product property here. So what this means, again, zero product property tells us if we have two things, like here's one thing and here's a second thing, if those two things are multiplied together and it equals 0, then one of those things, at least one of those things, has to be equal to 0. So that means that our answer here is going to be 2 answers. We're going to have 2 answers, okay? One answer is going to be the answer that is the k value that makes this equal to 0. And the other answer is going to be the k value that makes the other binomial equal to 0. All right, let's work with this one first because it's pretty easy, right? What number is it that when I plug it in for k makes this side equal to 0? Well, it's got to be the number that gets rid of 1, right? Or the opposite of 1. So you could just say that that's going to be equal to -1. The other way to do that is to subtract 1 from both sides. Subtract 1 from both sides and we'll get k is equal to -1. Okay, so there's one of our answers. That's good. That's the easy one. The other one is going to be a little bit of a fraction because we're going to have a 4 and a 5, and we'll deal with that here. All right, so the question is what number, when I plug it in for k, makes this equal to 0? All right, so the way that we're going to do that is just like solving an equation, okay? Just like solving an equation. And hopefully you guys have understood why we spent so many days doing those partner problems, doing those problems up on the board, those solving equations problems, because that's not going away. Okay, so I've subtracted 5 from both sides. This 5 went away. That's why I chose to subtract 5. So I'm left with 4k. And then 0 minus 5 is -5. All right, so now I need to divide by 4. Okay, well, -5 and 4 don't divide very well. This side is nice. The 4's go away. I'm left with k, so I'm going to get an answer here. That's going to be good. Question, what's that answer going to look like? Now, I know that you guys like decimals. I don't. Decimals are inaccurate. They are not good. They are difficult to read. Fractions are good. So I am okay as long as you reduce this fraction. I'm okay with that. This can't be reduced. There's no number that 5 and 4 work together as factors. We don't have a GCF. We don't have any common factors. So this is good. So this is -5 over 4. This is good. So I've got two answers, negative 5 over 4 and negative 1. Both of those will make this problem equal 0. Okay, so let's do another question. This one I'm going to do that's going to be just a little bit more difficult. This time I would like to do number 6. All right, so number 6 looks like this. N squared plus 7n plus 15 equals 5. All right, now the reason I wanted to do number 6 is because I look here and I don't see a 0. I see something else. I need to make that a 0. So how do I get rid of 5? I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. Now, when I subtract 5 from both sides of this equal sign, I want you to notice that I'm putting the 5 under the 15. That's because the 5 has to get subtracted from just the numbers, right? I can't subtract 5 from 7n. I can't subtract 5 from n squared because those are unlike terms. But these are numbers, so I can subtract the 5 there. Okay, so this is going to be n squared plus 7n plus 10 is equal to 0. All right, now we need to factor. All right, so we're going to do some factoring here. I'm looking for factors of the number 10 that add to give me 7. Okay, so factors of 10 that add to 7. All right, so factors of 10. I'm thinking of like 1 times 10. All right, we also know that it could be negative 1 times negative 10, but I know I don't even need to consider the negatives here because the numbers I need to add to are positive. And if I have two negative numbers, they're always going to add to give me a negative, so I don't even need to worry about that one. 1 times 10 is 10, but 1 plus 10 is not 7, so that's not it. All right, what are some other numbers? Maybe 2 and 5. Okay, 2 times 5 is 10, and 2 times 5, or 2 plus 5 is 7. So this is the right answer right here. So this is my factor. So my two factors are going to be n plus 2 and n plus 5. All right, you can put the 2 and the 5 here if you want as well. All right. Okay, so now it's that these two things are equal to 0. So now we're going to use our zero product property. I need to figure out the n that makes this thing 0 and the n that makes this thing 0 because when they're multiplied it's 0. So at least one of them has to be 0. So again, I'm going to have two answers. One of the answers is going to be the number of n that makes this 0, and the other is going to be the number for n that makes this 0. All right. Now these two are easy to work with. I just subtract 2, subtract 5. So subtracting 2 here, subtract 2, so n equals negative 2. So that's one of my answers. And then also if I subtract 5 over here, n equals negative 5. This is a pattern you're going to see a lot. So sometimes, you guys will, you like to look for shortcuts. If you have just normal n plus a number or n minus a number, you know that the answer is going to be the opposite of that number. Right? So it's negative 2 that sort of undoes this positive 2 and makes it a 0. So that's why it's the answer, right? Same thing over here. It's the opposite of this 5 that makes this thing equal to 0. Negative 5 plus 5 is 0. So it's just sort of the opposite there. So some of you guys are going to be able to start zooming through these problems without having to work them all the way out. Okay. Next I want to do, let's see if I can look for a difficult one. All right, so let's look at number 12. I think number 12 is sufficiently difficult. All right, there's going to be a couple of things that we do on number 12. All right, so number 12, 5r squared minus 44r plus 120 equals negative 30 plus 11r. Okay, so the first thing I look at is this side does not equal 0. So I need to make it equal 0. I need to get rid of both of these things. Okay, so to get rid of a positive or a negative 30, I'm going to add 30. And to get rid of a plus 11r, I'm going to subtract 11r. We're doing a lot of this inverse operation stuff, right? To get rid of a subtraction, you add. To get rid of an addition, you subtract. Okay, so this is going to take that away and take that away and leave me with 0. Okay, good. Now I have to do this to both sides of the equation. I can't just take these away. I have to take them away from this side. That way my equation stays balanced. So where can I add 30 in this equation? I can't add it here because this has an r squared. I can't add it here because this has an r, so it's got to go here. It's going to be this. There's going to be where I can add 30. Now, where can I subtract 11r? I can't subtract 11r here because this is an r squared. I can't subtract 11r from this because these are just numbers. They don't have an r, but I can subtract 11r from that middle term right there, the 44r. I can subtract the 11r there. So you'll see this is kind of like combining like terms, right? I take these things that I'm getting rid of and I have to kind of line them up under. Okay, so let's simplify this. So the 5r squared is staying the same. Negative 44r and negative 11r gives me negative 55r. And then 120 and 30 give me 150. Okay, so now we need to factor this. All right, so let's factor. Well, I don't like to factor with a 5 in front because that means I've got to do the whole a times c thing. I'm going to end up, having to figure out. It's going to be some that difficult sort of second level factoring that we did in week 2, and I know that we didn't like that. So let me see if I can pull this 5 out of each of these terms, and I can. You can tell right away. 5, negative 55, and 150. Those are all divisible by 5. So I'm going to take a 5 out of each of those terms. All right. So take the 5 out here. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of undistributing this 5. So this 5 is going to go on the outside. So I'm left with r squared. Now this is going to be easier to factor because there's no number in front now. If I take 5 out of negative 55, that's going to be negative 11. So negative 11r. And if I take 5 out of 150, I think that's 30. So that's going to be plus 30 equals 0. Now, we weren't able to do this before. Before, we had to kind of carry down the 5. But here's a nice thing about us always having 0 right here, is we can divide away that 5. We divide both sides by 5. This big 5 just goes away, and I'm left with the r squared minus 11r plus 30. Now here's why that's nice. It's because on this side, usually if I divide something on the other side, it's going to kind of screw this side up, but not when it's 0. 0 divided by 5 is still 0. So I just was able to kind of eliminate the 5 and make it a much easier problem. All right, so now let's factor. I'm looking for factors of 30 that add to give me negative 11. All right, so let's list some factors of 30. Some factors of 30. So factors of 30 are numbers. Now I know that they're both going to be negative because my answers have to add to be negative. So like negative 1 times negative 30. That does equal positive 30. When I add them, it equals negative 31. So that's not good. I need them to add to negative 11. So that's not it. All right, let's think of some other ones. So maybe like negative 3 times negative 10. All right, those do multiply to give me 30, but negative 3 plus negative 10 is negative 13. We're getting closer, but we're not quite at the negative 11, so that's no good. All right, let's try negative 5 times negative 6. And a lot of you guys were probably screaming this at the computer. It's negative 5 and negative 6. Yeah, these add to give me negative 11. They do also multiply to give me the 30. So this is good. All right, so I'm going to have negative 5 and negative 6. So this is going to be r minus 5 times r minus 6 equals 0. So I have now factored this and turned it into a couple of binomials. Now, very simple, zero product property. Let's crank out our answers. So, 2 answers. One is going to come from this binomial. Whenever this binomial is equal to 0, it's going to give us a 0. So I can work this side out. Add 5 to both sides to get rid of the negative 5. So r equals 0 plus 5 is 5. So when r is 5, this equation is going to be 0. So there's one answer. Other answer is going to come from here. R minus 6 equals 0. Add 6 to both sides this time. 6 goes away. R equals 6. Okay, so two answers here, R equals 5 and R equals 6. Okay, guys, I will be on office hours Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I really hope that you guys join me. I know that these sometimes can take a lot of steps, especially when you get to that second page. You can do it. This is really high-level math. You guys are really doing high school math now. So proud of you. See you around. Bye.